Bit of a different video for today. One of the things that I kind of thought might be interesting to go over is how I actually like manage all of my social posts. So every day, like literally every day, usually every weekday, sometimes on the weekend, I post once a day to Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and Firework. That's a lot. And it takes a lot of time, but I wanted to show you some of my like time-saving tricks for like posting to all of these social media sites at the same time. So, first of all, we're gonna go into Adobe Premiere 2020, and in Adobe, I've created this project called Socials. So it's just where I do all of my social media work. So for whatever day I'm working on. So today is the 27th of January. I'm just gonna create a new bin called 127, and then I'm going to take these blank timelines and copy paste them, or if I drag and hold control, it'll put it in there. And I'll close out these old ones. So these were like 124s. Get rid of each of those. So in 127, I'm going to open all these. Just select all of them, pull them down in. No. Click each of them, and usually we'll start with so each of these are for 1x1, 9x16, and 16x9. So typically on Instagram and Facebook, I'll post in 1x1. For whatever reason, that is the best metric for which to post on those two platforms. I don't know why. I don't agree with it. Because I'm making a 16x9, I put it on Twitter. Because I'd like to think that those are more educated users, but then again, I guess sometimes it's not. And then the 9x16 is for TikTok and Instagram stories. So usually I'll just make the same post and then reframe each of them for the metric that I'm working on. So, but I usually start with 16x9 because that's what I personally, as a video content person, know best. So then I got to figure out what I'm going to post for the day. I was thinking about posting one of these rocket quad files, probably from this A7. Somewhere in here, there's okay, so this is the clip I want, 15. Okay, so we built our project. I got my 1x1, 9x16, 16x9, as well as my actual clip for the day. And then we have them all open in the timelines down here. And I'm going to pull it into the 9x16. I'm going to keep my existing settings. So my settings are set for what I want them to be when they post to social media. I'm going to just drag this all the way back to the beginning. And we're going to find the clip that we want. Start there. And I'm going to put a little time ramp on this. Put it to there. And we're going to increase or decrease time down to 25%, which is quarter speed. And then slow this. That feels pretty good. 15 seconds seems fine. So play it back one more time. Okay, this one doesn't really need any music, so now we get the 16:9 version, which is like the standard. That's what I want it to always look like. We're gonna go ahead and work on 1x1. So if we open the 1x1, I'm gonna take the 16:9 version, give existing settings, and drop it in. So now it's just that same timeline. It just is re-squared into the thing, but it's a little bit offset. So we're gonna use the effects controls to move it around and make it suit better our needs. So like I think for this one we could start with a bit of a pan, like start at center and then pan to the left a little bit because the quad like goes out of frame. So we can do a little bit of repositioning, put it here in the center. Then we're gonna keyframe it, and as the clip progresses, we're gonna move it to the left just a little bit. That'll be a nice little. And so now if I wanted to change the audio or the way it plays back or anything like that, I can go back into the original version and change it over and it'll still be fine. So that's the 1x1. Now we go into the 9x16 version. Project. Once again, pull in the 9x16, keep settings. And effect controls. We gotta scale it up to fit that weird format. And then I'm going to keep the, so because this is even skinnier, I'm going to keep the focus on the rocket quad. I just show a little bit of the other one so it's there. And then we're going to play it back, see, put a keyframe there. So it goes off to the right a little bit, so we'll move it over. And now follow it out of frame to the left. So we'll play that back. It's going to be a little jumpy, and that's okay. Now if you go on and hover on all these, right click, spatial or temporal interpretation, and say ease in, it'll kind of give it a nice little bit of a ramping effect and it'll look a little bit better. Maybe I meant ease out, hold on. Temporal, ease out. Yeah, there we go. It's not kind of ramps it up with it. Sick. Okay, so now we have our 3 timelines ready with our social post. We're going to select all 3 of them at the same time. Right click, export media. Simple as that. Gives me some settings for me, for you want to do H.264. You can say match source high bitrate. We're going to change that in a second. The source is important because it's going to set the width and height, frame rate, all that based on the source footage. And because we've changed the frame size 3 different times, we want to make sure that it does respect that. So that's set. And then I usually set the target bitrate to about 25, depending on how big I want the files to be. Queue them up. It'll open Adobe Media Queue, render queue. And then we just gotta tell it where. So I'm gonna just put it in Miami trip socials because I was just traveling and I had this done for this. So this is 127. Copy that link. Rename it. This is Rocket Quad 2. Actually, and this is Rocket Quad 2 1x1. And then Rocket Quad 2 not 16x9. So now those are all ready. And render. Oh, that one didn't go in the right file. There we go. So now that will automatically dump all the footage into here, and then we're ready to post. So for Facebook and Twitter or Instagram, I go to facebook.com/creatorstudio, and I can use this to post it from my desktop. So when the 1x1 is ready, just go in here. Oh. Create post. Instagram, add, file upload. Not sure why it doesn't let me drag and drop. Put that there. And then say something like blasting off into the week like, you know, just classic. I'm gonna do this over on their screen. I've got a Google Keep that has all of my hashtags, but it's also got some other sensitive information in it. So I'll pull this over so you can see it now. You can see the yeah, I just have a set of hashtags ready. And then I'm going to also tag white noise and flying with Francis, who are both there to help me out that day. Find a good cover photo. That looks pretty sweet. And I can publish. But I could also schedule it. So like when I'm traveling, like if I'm going to be gone for like 3 or 4 days, I'll schedule it for later in the week. But because I want this one to go right now, I'm just going to say, go ahead and post now. Publish. Then we go back over to Facebook, and this will post to my NERC FPV Facebook page. One thing that's nice is that when you use the Creator Studio, you don't have to upload it twice. It just remembers that you had uploaded it somewhere else. COD, let's say blast off into Monday. And I'm going to go and just copy paste that whole description from the other post, which I should have done earlier. Paste. I don't usually worry about tags on Facebook because it doesn't seem to help at all. Same thing with this one. I can do a schedule or I can just post it now. So I'm going to go ahead and just publish it now. Head over to Twitter. Paste the text. Delete back until it's not read anymore. And upload the 16:9 tweet. And then I go to WeTransfer, because I don't like Dropbox, and I just upload all 3 of them there, and then I'll go on to TikTok and Firework and post it there. So yeah, so that's, you know, really quick, really rough overview of how I do social posts through the day. For scheduling, it's especially important to just plan ahead and plan out enough content to like get through 4 or 5 days. So like I'm going on a trip to Minnesota here in a couple of weeks, or a couple days actually, and so I'm for the next couple of days gonna be planning out all the social posts I'm gonna be posting while I'm gone. I'm gonna upload them all ahead of time to WeTransfer, download them to my phone so I can post to TikTok and Firework, and then for Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter I can schedule it ahead of time. So I'll set all of them to publish at like 10 o'clock a.m. on whatever day of the week that is. So pretty excited to share all of this with you. I hope this kind of gives you some insight on how to like kind of stay on top of social. And in the meantime, stay flying.